Hello, it's David Dean, and yes, we got a whole new series starting. Basically, with war games coming out, and with them having a new endurance mode. I kept calling it endless mode in my last video. It is endurance mode, evidently coming out next week, and evidently you have to complete Storm Shield Defense number 10 in order to do it. I wanted to get out a video series showing people how I did my different builds in Twine Peaks so that people can get their builds completed and try out the endurance mode and see how well these builds hold up to the endurance mode. And also, I want feedback, as much feedback as possible, on ways you think I could build these things better. Just remember, very limited on structures. So every one thing you want me to add, you also have to tell me where I need to take something down, because there's just not enough structural pieces out there. Also, really quick, 2 bugs. War games currently do not use defenders, because when it's over with, the defenders' weapons are gone. The other one is, for some reason, sometimes when you knock down structures, the traps stay where they're at. Don't know. That's just something that happens. But I'm only going to be going through the Homebase on this one, and then I will do a separate video for each and every amp. And let's start off with this one. And I really want to go through 4 main rules I use to be able to survive Storm Shield defenses at extremely high levels. And first of all is build in a direct line. The husk can see terrain, they can see structures, they can't see traps. And so I want to make it, as far as their AI is concerned, as easy as possible just to walk straight over to their destination. And that way they're not destroying structures or blowing up anything, and it makes it so much easier. Also with that, my number 2 is use the environment. In this case, environment is a lava crack here and the lava ball falling from the sky. A lot of people see these as bad things they hate they have to build around. I see them as great things to use in destroying the husk. Third thing is thinning out the herd. When they first spawn, you usually have a lot of low hit point husks that get into the tunnels first. You want to kill those guys as fast as possible early on in your trap tunnel. That way they're not eating up all the trap durability throughout all your trap tunnel length. So thinning out the herd is a big thing I do. And then finally is loops. And loops are things like this, where I have this launcher here. They come across and boom, they take 200,000 damage walking through there. But they get hit by the launcher. They get hit by this launcher. Then they get sent back here where they're getting hit by the gas traps again. And then they end up going back out here and getting hit by the lava ball and the lava crack right there. And then they come back up, they get hit by the launcher again, and they just keep going around. And it works great. And then once they get in, same thing with my timeout rooms, where they get hit by a launcher, sent back here, massive, massive damage. They try to come back out and they get hit again. These areas on Twine Peaks, you can't build the trap tunnels as long because of the lava ball, so you have to keep them going through the same areas again and again and again. So there you go, my 4 rules. But basically over here, show you on the big map, we're to the east of the map and east of the home base. That is where the spawn occurs, and if you're in war games, the first spawn seems to always be here. And in Twine Peaks, every single Storm Shield defense from, I believe, Storm Shield defense number 3 on always occurs here. It happens the length of this, and even if you put down like a tile over here, there is a chance it will get blown up. The spawn moves 1 or 2 tiles in this area. So basically I just have it set up, about 98% of the stuff is going to come over here. For the small 2% that come over, all I have is these launchers here with a 45, sending them back over this cliff, which hopefully kills them. If not, they usually go around that way, and I'll show you later what I have set up over there to stop any that actually survive the fall. Do have the broadside trap over here, which just bounces cannonballs back, so they take at least a little bit of damage here. And I'll show you the backside of this in a bit. Over here, this is where they're spawning. Everything is going to come through these 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 3 tiles. So I got gas traps, like I said, for thinning out the herd. This won't do much against the smashers and the husky husk, but it will take out some of those low hit point husk. And if they get over here, by the time they get through the second gas trap, all the low hit point husk should be done with. There we go with our lava again. That thing actually does, if you have movement over here, it goes off quite a bit. And you can put in more traps here on the walls and over here. But I need those resources elsewhere, and usually the first wave is the easiest wave of them all. So I don't like using a ton of resources on this. Once they come in, as I said, launcher back here, I have the broadside, and the broadside isn't really to do damage, it's to do impact. Basically to slow down and to reduce the impact counter on smashers. As you've probably seen, a smasher walking by who's level 120 plus, one launcher won't move him. He'll just keep going like nothing hit him at all. But he does have an impact counter, and that subtracts that much impact from that counter. And then another one hits him, and that might work, or it might reduce it lower, and then the third one will work. The cannonballs have about 1,000 on them, but they get hit multiple times, mainly in a small area like this, so they may end up getting hit 7 or 8 times by the cannonballs, knocking that counter down, staggering them, and making it easier for the launchers to bounce them around. And usually in my timeout rooms, I don't have a launcher over here, but I really want the launcher to push these guys as far back against this wall as possible to make it as likely as possible them walking across the lava rift and taking over 200,000 points of damage for doing so. And then if they make it through there, just have another launcher with another timeout room for taking them out. And that is really it. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles. I do know several other people have great videos on this. Team Vash, they have some great videos on trap tunnels. Rounded Tic Tac, he does a whole bunch of trap demonstrations right on this area right here. And they are good videos. Definitely check them out and go with the one you think will work best. Everybody has different opinions on how to do them. I know a lot of people like their triangles, and it has the same effect. It just narrows it down a little bit more, forcing them to take more time to get over here. But for doing that, you're also limiting your visibility. Actually, put it back up. And also, there is a chance of getting a clog. Now, right now in the game, it's not as big as a factor as it used to be when you had bigger spawns coming through, and definitely not on war games. But when you get to the higher level Storm Shield defenses, you will get massive waves coming in, and I'm just more comfortable doing the little bitty half walls. The other thing is, sometimes it's nice just to sit here with a weapon and take them out as they're coming in, which is a lot more difficult with the triangles. So that's why I like the little bitty half walls. And seeing how nothing's going to be hitting them or beating on them, it really doesn't matter as far as health. But now I can just sit here and take out everything I see. Drop that in there, and oh yeah, I love the quad launcher. Let them burn. All right, so we got that, and then let's head back over here to this one again. I didn't do this in a lot of places, but I'm definitely doing it a lot in regular missions. is to make these structures stronger. I am putting on the wooden floor spikes. If you've seen my videos in the past, I always had these very low level because it really didn't matter to me. I just wanted them to slow the husks 30%. But in order to get that 6 perk that increases building health, I need them to be legendary. So that's why I upped the level on them, and that's why this is the only one I perked up. So I get a little bit more health since everything over there is going to be covered by my constructor base, and this will not. I wanted that extra health. Also, if they beat through one of these tiles, all they do is find another launcher that will send them right back over the cliff. So we should be good over there. The other thing I want to talk about while I'm down here is that the flingers and lobbers, all other husks, are trying to go down this nice, neat, straight path to get to your amplifiers, except for the flingers and lobbers. The flingers and lobbers do not want to go to your amplifier. They want to find a spot starting at about 7 to 8 tiles out that does not have a ceiling, and they can just sit there and do massive damage to your home base. So you can do one of two things. You can put lobber shields, which you'll see on a lot of my other amplifiers, or you can set it up where they can't really get in here without going through your trap tunnel. That's why I have this blocked off. Also, and I'll just go ahead and destroy it, can rebuild it. Right here is that launcher when you first come in the tunnel. If I just had this one piece of metal up, the lobbers and flingers would try to destroy it, so they could come over here and destroy my building. But the AI of the lobbers and flingers can actually kind of tell how much they have to pound through to get to where they want to go. And I've seen it before where I've had one wall, they're pounding on it. I put down a second wall, they stop pounding on it and just walk through the trap tunnel. So just to make sure they go where they're supposed to, I make it so there's 3 layers of metal. And now, instead of trying to get over here pounding through that area, they will come through this area right here and then try to go over this way. But usually they don't survive. And if they do, they're pretty close to death, and I can take them out myself if the defenders don't target them. And just to let you know, if you're looking from up above, you see metal there. Let's see, is that my timeout room? Yep, that's the timeout room. Here's the main tunnel. Here's the other timeout room. Metal here just to keep the lobbers and flingers out. So that's that 4 tile or 5 tile area. This tile is only here because I'm going to put my constructor base right up there. Put it right up on this one, so then it comes down 1 tile, 2 tile, and then it covers this whole thing. So I'm trying to use the minimum amount of tiles as possible. And then I just put this here because flingers or lobbers will come over here and try to throw from there. And that usually stops them. And let's head on up here. As I said, like here, nothing should be getting up here besides like maybe a husky husk at 5 or 10% health, and this should finish them off. The smashers will probably get up here, but this is for taking out the smashers. All right, and then, another thing on this. A lot of my trap tunnels, the way I set them up, I enjoy doing them solo because I know where I can stand to keep all the husks going where I want them to go. If I stand in line with the amp or the home base here, then they all come into the tunnel nice and easy. If somebody stands over here because this is a better view, then the husk will start peeling off, mainly the range attackers. The pitchers, the zappers, the flingers, the lobbers will all start coming around here to try to get to me. And from experience, I know if they get down about that far and I run back, they will turn around and go back into the trap tunnel. If I wait too long and they get down here, then when I run back, they go all the way around, up and over to here to try and attack the home base. And that is why I have these 2 structures and 2 traps here. They try to go through and they're just going to keep getting knocked backwards. And because of their AI, they won't go through this gap, but I definitely will. So now we finally get up to the home base after all that. And I'm sure from the start of the video, some people were annoyed by this strange looking piece of metal that seems to have no purpose. This is the way I start it, is with it up, because if I don't know if there's going to be exploders with propane tanks, I don't want my defenders shooting down into the tunnel. So by having that there, all they can shoot at is what comes up, which usually is flinger trash, or what actually gets up this close to the structure. Once I know there's no exploders with propane tanks, I do it like that, and then the defenders can shoot all the way down to the very entrance of that tunnel. So anything gets close, they get taken out. As far as what I want my defenders to use, I want them to use the weapon that gives the highest impact as possible, because I want to keep things away from my structure and in the trap tunnels as long as possible. So yes, there is other weapons that might do more damage than the ones I'm using, but I'm more worried about doing the high impact with good damage and then allowing the traps to finish eating up the husk. And that's just my preference on it. For up here, all I've done is 3 sets of stairs on each side to slow down the husk. Backside, I didn't even worry about putting launchers on it. I do have them over here just in case. But usually the defenders take care of anything that gets thrown up there, or if anything actually comes all the way around over here, they can take those out too. If I have enough structures, I will cover up the home base, but right now it's not looking like I'm going to have enough structures to do that. Plus, I can always add on while I'm actually doing it. So there you go. That is my home base build. This middle area, I don't think I covered that too much. Do want to hit that. You do have a 3 tile long ramp right here. So you got to block it off anyway. So you might as well do it with a trap tunnel. My launchers send husks 3 to 4 tiles back. So this is all good. Once again, have the broadside doing damage and have the gas traps also doing damage, and maybe stunning them here and keep doing the damage. So there you go. Let me know your thoughts on this. Let me know how you think I can do it better. I definitely look forward to the input, and if I agree and have the structure pieces do it, I'll add it on to future videos. And then I will get busy doing videos on the other amplifiers. And actually, I will probably I was going to wait till last to do the Devil amp, but everybody keeps asking about it, and I always hate YouTubers and other content creators that make you wait for what you really want to see. So the next one will be the Devil amp, amplifier I for me, and I will get that out to you. So take care, have a great day, and I hope this helped.